There we go. Got to check everything. Hi, everybody. I didn't go live yesterday because I had a doctor's appointment, and it was a annual exam. It had nothing to do with the COVID-19. But I thought it was interesting when I posted that I wouldn't be on live. Immediately, everyone thought it was something to do with COVID-19. We are so fearful of COVID-19 that, hey, it's ridiculous. Someone can't just go have a doctor's appointment. And I thought it was strange because when I went into the doctor, it was in the middle of the afternoon, and it's been a long time since I've gone in the middle of the afternoon. Usually it's first early in the morning, and they're usually packed. I think there were 2 other patients in there at the time when I went in. It seems eerily vacant. And, I was like, everyone has this idea. They just have the overall feeling that all of our hospitals, even here in Topeka, are overwhelmed. All of the hospitals and all of the clinics, and everybody's in a panic in those places. They're overworked but here's the thing. Topeka, Kansas is not New York City. We are not the epicenter of the virus. And I don't know, we have a possibility of getting the virus here at 0.001%. It was also interesting to watch people walk around. I didn't go just to the doctor's office. It was also interesting to stopped into Dillon's and picked up a couple of things that we needed. The shelves looks pretty good. I didn't look at the toilet paper because we don't need any. Not that we hoarded any. I think we have, eight rolls or something. And people were walking around with masks and gloves with their masks hung down around their neck. I think the purpose of wearing the masks is to keep them on so that you're not shedding any virus that you might be carrying all over. So, but at the doctor's office, there was a few things that I learned that no one's really talking much about. So, I told him about being really, really anxious and having a hard time sleeping. And he said, well, everybody's pretty much doing that. He did ask me if I felt like I needed anything for that. And I was like, no, that would constitute antidepressants, and no one would like me on antidepressants, especially me. So I've been on a variety of them because of my fibromyalgia, and so no, I'd rather put up with being anxious and sleep deprived because I'm not me at all. I certainly wouldn't be able to do any of the creative stuff I want to do. And so let's see. So he took a look at me. I've got a little allergy thing going on. It causes me to cough. He took a look at that. All clear. Everything's good. It's just an allergy. It'll clear up eventually when I think the pollens calm down. There wasn't much he could do about that. And let's see. And then he gave me some tips on dealing with, going outside and being safe. And one of the things that no one's talking about are your shoes. He said, kick them off. Do not touch them. And if you can disinfect them, but do not touch them. I also got a valid yes, 70% alcohol will disinfect whatever you've got. that you might want to disinfect. So the paper masks or the paper-like masks that are actually plastic, can be disinfected by, dipping them and letting them dry. You hearing? Are you still hearing nothing? It says my Yeti's on. I think you need to maybe retry. I don't know. That's my hand. Okay. Okay. Now you're catching me. All right. So, and I didn't do anything different there, Jennifer. So, yeah, about the first 30 seconds there, I forgot to turn my mic on. I don't like it on all the time. Anyway. Oh, get back in again. Okay. All right. So so he talked about your shoes, that if there's any shedding going on, it's happening out, and it's falling to the ground. So no matter where you go, if you're getting out at all, do not touch your shoes, kick them off. And then if when you put them back on, wash your hands immediately, without touching anything else. Thought that was very interesting, and I hadn't thought about that, and no one's ever brought that up. Haven't seen anybody talk about that. So that was a very interesting thing. Then let's see. But I have seen the coronavirus handshake, which was you touch your shoes to the other person's shoes. So yeah, the bottoms of your shoes are nasty. Of course they are. And I say that as a person who loves to walk around barefoot. I guess I'm going to have to wash my bare feet all the time too. It's a jazz hand. Oh yeah, so Jennifer knows the rest of my story, but I want to get in through the doctor office visit first. So so that was one of the things that he said. And then I told him a little bit about being frustrated about not being able to go into the studio where it's just usually Jennifer and I can't have any customers come in, and so I'm like losing most of my business. I am doing online orders. I've had some people ask me about that. You can order online, but I'm going to get them delivered by mail, whether you're local or if you're, across the country. And I want to thank everybody who has ordered recently, because it's really been a big help, because I'm still going to have all my bills due, even though all this stuff is going on. And being a micro business, I don't qualify for a lot of stuff that they're offering out there. So, however, I did apply for the PPP, and we'll see how that goes. Haven't heard back. That was a while ago. Anyway, so I got done with the doctor's office, and he gave me a clean bill of health. He wanted me to take some tests that have to do with cholesterol and that kind of stuff. The stuff they always want you to do. Check your blood, because it's an annual. It was an annual physical. But at the end, they were like, "Would you like a coronavirus fact sheet?" And I was like, "I think I do. I want to hear from my provider, my health provider, what's going on with the coronavirus." And so there's a couple of things that were just a little odd that I just kind of wanted to point out. So here's my little fact sheet right here. Print it off. And number one fact that they felt was number one, the most important fact, is that diseases can make anyone sick regardless of their race or ethnicity. Really? There isn't some ethnicity out there that just can't get sick from disease? I mean, That's just kind of racist, or just making the assumption that I would be a racist. That's just crazy. Here's the fact is that fear and anxiety about COVID-19 can cause people to avoid or reject others even though they are not at risk for spreading the virus. That's the description under the racist comment. That was number one fact. I think that racism is the lowest way you can express your stupidity. We all bleed red. We are all in this together. For crying out loud. Okay. There's no date on this. Wait, yes there is. I'm going to tell you what date. It's really small. 3/16/2020. Okay, so that's when they made it. This was just not long after they decided to this. Oh, and it's also a CDC document. So this is when everybody was making news reports about people thinking only the Chinese could get it, which really, how ignorant do you have to be to believe that? And that only they would spread it. Okay, anyway, and I'm telling you, I heard that all over. Okay, it's just stupid. I mean, it's pretty sci-fi to think that you can build a virus, genetically make a virus so that it only affected one ethnicity. I think we're not there yet. I think first we cure cancer, and then we consider that the other can happen. Okay. For most people, number 2 fact, for most people, the immediate risk of becoming seriously ill from the virus that causes COVID-19 is thought to be low. Now, if you watch TV, you would think it was very, very high that if you got the virus, you were dead. That was your death ticket. You might as well just walk over to the morgue so that they don't have to actually transport you. Okay. And let's see. Older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions may be at higher risk for more serious complications from COVID-19. Well, yeah, that makes sense because it eats at your lungs. And breath is kind of life. And so, yeah, it actually attacks your lungs, which was what makes it different than the typical cold or flu. Okay, so someone who has completed quarantine or has been released from isolation does not pose a risk of infection to other people. Well, finally, they're getting some stuff right. And then, of course, they refer you to more up-to-date information because you never know when it starts, being able to be were able to get it a second time, like they've been trying to say that's happening over in China. I think we pretty much know how the immune system works. It's why we do vaccinations. Okay. I'm just going through five of the fact sheets. I'm not going to do the whole bunch of pages here. Okay, so the fact number 4. See, these are the top 5 facts. There are simple things you can do to help keep yourself and others healthy. Wash your hands, often with water and soap for at least 20 seconds. And I hear, and this is my putting this in, this isn't their saying it. I hear if you say the birthday song, sing it while you're washing your hands. That's supposed to be 20 seconds. Okay, especially after blowing your nose, coughing, sneezing, going to the bathroom, and before eating or preparing food. I think I knew that back when I was a kid. This is not new information. Are we 5? Okay. Now, it is important to avoid touching your eyes and your nose and your mouth with unwashed hands. Well, yes, but I think especially so with this virus, because that is actually how it enters the body. But it isn't until you're told you can't touch your face, your nose, or your mouth that you realize how often you touch your face, your nose, and your mouth. It happens all the time. People do it all the time. Okay. And then cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Then throw the tissue in the trash. Nose pickers? Sorry. No digging for gold. And no eating it afterwards. That is no longer allowed. That puts you at high risk of COVID-19. Okay. And then you can stop COVID-19 by knowing the signs and symptoms. And I think this is interesting because there's been people talking about different symptoms. And I don't think the symptoms are the same for everybody, depending on your immune system and how good it is. So you get a fever, a cough, shortness of breath. Okay, so seek medical advice if you develop symptoms. So those 4 symptoms. So you seek medical advice if you develop symptoms. And, so there's a caveat there. Have been in close contact with a person known to have COVID-19, or you live or have recently been in the area with ongoing spread of COVID-19. So those are the top 5 facts. I don't know. Doesn't seem so scary now. But I am going to take precautions because with my fibromyalgia, I have some medicines that compromise my immune system. So I'm going to take precautions. I'm going to just stay home. Avoid the petri dish. I really don't like going shopping anyway. So on top of that, so the rest of my day was very exciting. I got an opportunity to get out of the house. I hadn't been out of the house for 10 days. I've been keeping myself so busy with my nose into something creative. I even lost all of one day. It came up 3 o'clock and I was like, I don't know what time. What's going on? Okay. Didn't I just wake up? Did I eat lunch? Yeah. Okay. I ate lunch. So the next thing that we did after the doctor's office is we went over to Target. I've been wanting to make some refried beans in my Instapot because I thought that maybe homemade refried beans would be better. And I made those the other day and they were delicious. And I think the secret is bacon grease. Everything's better with bacon. Oh, it was really good. And it is like bean dip. Oh, it was really good. However, with just my mixer, I was having a hard time with getting the beans all done, getting them all mashed up. Because I kind of like creamy bean dip. And so I thought I need one of those wand mixers, one of those that chop it up and you can use it in your glass to make smoothies, which I'm not going to make smoothies. I'm going to make bean dip. And so I asked Chuck, I said, well, let's just stop real quick at Target. And he seemed to be in this like weird hurry. I don't know. So he was like, okay, I'll just drop you off front. I don't need to go in with you. And I'll park over there. Okay, so I get out of the car and I walk away. And then I hear him yelling at me. So I turn around. I had not closed the door completely. And when he had pulled up, it had swung open more. And so I turned around, I didn't slam it. I shut the door, turned right around, and fell flat on my face on the curb in front of Target. Just like this. Boom, like that. Just boom, right on my face. My glasses went all over. My shoes fell off. And witnessing this was not only my husband, but a car behind him who I don't know who was there, but two ladies who were walking out of Target. And they looked over at me. They said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Well, I'm not sure, but give me a minute and I'll tell you." I'm laying on the ground now, mind you. I'm laying on the ground that only my shoes should be on with who knows what kind of shedding all over it. So the ladies walk over. She says, "I know I'm not supposed to touch or whatever, but let me help you." And she went over and picked up my shoe. And I was like, "Oh, no, don't touch the shoes. Those are the worst." Oh, I was in the middle of shock. And I'm telling you, I hurt myself bad with that tumble. Oh, I mean, I didn't break anything, but I am paying for it today. I have what is this? My chest muscles all the way down the side, because I think I landed there, or part of my elbow my elbow had to have been under me or something. I don't know. You can't remember exactly how you land. And I got a great big old scrape on my knee like that, and it's swollen up. I had a heck of a time trying to sleep last night, and it's actually now I have COVID-19 symptoms. I'm having a hard time breathing deeply. I keep making myself do it anyway, because breath is good. It helps calm you down. And if I listen to Wim, what is his name? Wim, come on, Jennifer, help me out. Wim, what's his name? It's another 3-letter word. Start in your gut, pushing it out, and roll that breath up, fill up your lungs. You need to get the bubble for, I need to get out you need to get out the big bubble for me. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing is, I got up and I went on in and got my thing, got out, and there was somebody who had mentioned that you weren't supposed to buy anything but essentials at these stores. Well, I don't know. Is a wand mixer, is that essential at the store? I would say no. It was essential for me because I want creamy bean dip. This is okay. Oh, I'm having a hard time. I don't understand what you just said there, Jennifer. It might have been that I got my sense knocked out of me yesterday. There's about 30-second lag from when I hit enter to when it shows and this is coming from the buy anything essentials sentence. Okay. Creamy bean dip and lawn mixer? No, a wand. Wand. The tall ones that you use for your smoothies. A wand. Jeez. Anyway. Oh, and then, so I got in and out, okay. And then we went over to Home Depot. As you know, I've been working on this mask for Jennifer's niece. Yes, a wand mixer for my bean dip. Anyway, I have it done, essentially. Haven't put it all together because I'm not sure how big her head is. But I kind of think it's pretty. This took over 24 hours to print. It's that tight. I wanted to make sure it was good and tight because if you don't, um, because this is made with threads of plastic, I wanted to make sure that there was plenty, it was plenty tight that, viruses and stuff couldn't get through the plastic. But it comes in 3 parts. So here's the mask. And while we were at Home Depot, we got the this little rubber stuff that goes on your windows. That'll make it real comfortable. Had some other stuff that it just wasn't as comfortable. And then I'm putting strings on them with some elastic loops, so it'll be nice and tight. Haven't got both of them on there yet. And then we also got, I guess I get the box. I got this. It's a HEPA filter for a vacuum from my research that was supposed to be the best outside of a surgical mask. And so put the HEPA filter, cut it down, and this comes in, you would be amazed at how much of this is in one of those filters. But you put the HEPA filter in this part here, in the front mask of the front cap of the mask. It's kind of hard. And then you snap it on. It's a little ornery. You got to kind of... Oh, I had the string in the way. No wonder it didn't want to snap on. There. No. There. It's not going to stay on. I just had it together. There. Oh, that HEPA filter's holding it back. Let me turn it around. Okay, there. Now it's flat in there. But you want the HEPA filter bigger than the square on the inside. Square on the inside. And then you can fill that up with even more material. And then you put this, you snap that in there. And this whole thing, including the HEPA filter, can be sterilized and decontaminated by soaking it, just dipping it and letting it dry naturally in alcohol, 70% alcohol. So I hope she likes it. It's kind of heavy compared to the paper masks or the cloth masks that people are using. Anyway, let me get all the parts together in there. There we go. And so went to Home Depot to get some of that stuff because I wanted to make sure that I got what I wanted. And then, let's see, I came home. We had some yard bird for supper. And then I got into an internet fight, which was stupid. It was actually a message fight. And it was with Jennifer Bartlett. No, I'm just kidding. But it's amazing to me. I mean, I love and loathe at the same time in equal measure social media. Love and loathe it. My parents are a little bit techno-phobic. Well, not completely technophobic. They have an Alexa in their house, which I don't understand. But Mom doesn't usually get on Facebook. So they're not really phobic. They just don't want it in their lives all the time, like other people. Which, hey, I think that's great. And the thing is, one of the things that would be really nice for them to have is for them to be, since Mom's already on Facebook, is to have Messenger, so that I could call them up and I could actually see them, that they look okay. That's kind of comforting. But Dad said, well, if he feels like he needs to see us, then he'll drive over in the car and we can wave at him from the porch. Yeah, that's the difference between being 50 and, and being in the 80s. So that I just think that that's interesting. And but they are frustrated also by technology, and I don't blame them. It's all that it can be complicated. They try to make it as user friendly as possible, but they're not using 80-year-olds as example or as test subjects. You know, they're test subjects, right? Exactly, as testers for the intuitiveness of their apps. So I know it's called FaceTime, Jennifer. Dad has an Android. Oh, we could do Viber or Skype. Okay, the other thing is their church. Here's the thing that bothers me a lot, and I'm glad that their technology. Zoom is a program that allows you to do like conference calls. You can do a whole class with it, and the State Department is now suing our State Department is now suing China because of their privacy issues with Zoom. Zoom's programs are hosted over there in China. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, but China really doesn't care about anybody's privacy or their rights. And so there's a big to-do about Zoom. And people are using it even more now. And so there's a concern about that. I would rather them have something like Skype that I mean, I remember I used it a lot. And yeah, Zoom is supposed to be bad like TikTok. I can't trust a regime that I completely disagree with on principle. And I'm not going to get into all that because there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of things. And if you pay attention, not to the media, but to the things that are out there that's not straight up media, and I've talked about that before, about how I don't like the media because they're edited and they lean with a bias. And that, yeah, they're not going to talk about these things. So you actually have to go out and do some research for yourself. And it's not my job to educate you. There's lots of information out there about China. I mean, well, for instance, there was a commission, Human Rights Commission, that investigated whether or not, because there'd been for years, there has been claims that China was using their political dissidents, their political prisoners, for transplants, so on demand. So somebody had enough money, they wanted a transplant, they would test the political prisoners, anybody who was a match, good to go. Yeah, they'd kill them. They'd kill them to give somebody else a transplant. And that organization suggested that they should be shunned. That's just one. Just one. There's a plethora of these kind of things that I'm concerned about. Anyway. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you think that... Oh, so you think that we should look at, Jennifer, you think we should just check CNN and see what they suggest? Are they your friends? I actually try occasionally to watch CNN. And over the last 3 years, every time I've watched them, they've been putting out stuff that's not true. However, it is kind of fun to watch these news networks right now as they try to do their social distancing and they're doing their stuff from home. It is kind of fun to watch them be completely out of their element. That doesn't matter what they're talking about. It's just fun to watch them being out of their element as they yammer on. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, yeah, or Fox. Yeah, or any other mainstream. That's why they call it mainstream media. And don't think that there isn't there is an agenda. They are speaking to an audience. And they are trying to use their mind reading, their amazing mind reading skills, or not, to try to determine what it is that you want to hear. And over the years, they know what they want to hear because they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear. They don't care what you want to hear. They're going to tell you this is what you want to hear. They've gotten more and more authoritarian. And just because they've got suits on and behind it lens and a multi-million-dollar corporation doesn't, and getting million-dollar salaries doesn't make them an authority on nothing but being able to read a good teleprompter and look pretty. And we need to call them out. This coronavirus, the dual information that's been going out that can not be both right at the same time. Here's an example. Don't wear masks. They're not going to do you any good. Oh, it's okay. Come on out. Go to the Chinese New Year's celebration. You'll be safe. There's nothing. Okay. Don't go out. It's Armageddon zombie apocalypse out there. Both can't be true. Do you think that the encouragement of people going out, despite the fact that there was a big concern? I mean, we watched live on TV every night what was going on over in China. Do you think there wasn't a legitimate concern? But yet they're telling us, oh, it's not going to be here. Oh, someone came in. It's Chuck. Chuck got home.
I did.
Yep. Oh, geez. It's 40 minutes in.
Well, I'm going to go watch President.
Okay. Yeah. He had something about the PPP today. I saw that briefly. Okay. Anyway, they had an update about the PPP today. Thing is, it was somebody talking in the background, and I couldn't hear them. So, anyway, I have no idea what's going on. We were talking to Bank of America and Goldman Sachs. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will write it down. But do you trust it? Yes, this is like 4:30 in the studio on an average day. Oh, you know what? We might have to try to figure out how to Skype you in. Like, for instance, like you call my phone and then I can put you on my phone. We need to try to do that. Maybe tomorrow. Because I've already gone 40 minutes in. When I got started, I was like, oh, what am I going to talk about? But guess what? I'm going to talk about it now. And I'm just going to yammer. You mean get out of pajamas and brush your hair? Yes. Yes. And the thing is, it doesn't matter because we're all stay at home. And you're staying at home with me. See, that's all it is. Yeah. And I got to pay for playing. I hope I can sleep tonight. Yeah. God, my whole side of my body hurts. Okay. Anyway, it's probably time for me to shut down. My husband's home. And it's probably time to think about helping with supper. Oh, I got people whistling at me. I think that's Periscope. Okay. Well, I've got lots more to talk about, but maybe we'll have to save that for tomorrow. I'm going to have to write it down. I never know what I'm going to go in and say on these things. But, and I was talking about my parents and their technophobes. Yeah, I'm actually glad because they're not getting involved with that. And I don't know. Does anybody know? You can put it in the comments. Does anybody know any other program that does what Zoom does? And I'm telling you, I'm not sure what all Zoom does. That can be used and that isn't expensive or is free. The problem with this technology is if it's free, you're the product. Your information, where you go, what you do, what you buy, whatever they can do to squeeze the money out of you commercially, is you are the product. And when they give it free, that's what's happened on Facebook. That's what happens on YouTube. That's what happens everywhere. Well, YouTube is about being able to advertise to you. So that's not much different than TV, except I don't know. I don't know if TV, I don't know. It's similar concept. But you are the product. Heck, I've got a pixel on Art Print Express that if I would actually spend some money on Google ads, or Facebook ads, which I kind of refuse to do, it probably would help me, but I don't want to bonus that. But I'll make content. It's just my time. All right. Well, because I hope my content benefits me. Oh, I got my little lady all sorts of screwy. There we go. Her head's right now. Okay. I'm going to go for reals now. Thanks, Jenna, for stopping in. And you other three that are watching right now, thank you for stopping in. I can't say hi to you specifically. I don't think anybody's commented on here but Jenny. Jennifer, Jen. Anyway, that's the worst part of this whole thing, is I don't get to actually be around anybody but Chuck and Dylan. Not that I don't love them. You just literally saw my blood pressure go up. What was I doing? Anyway, I'll see y'all later. We'll catch you later.